yo. What's going on, everybody?
Hi.
How we doing
What up?
today?
Doing good.
What up?
We
Fantastic.
got Full Sin University here.
It's like the
Podcast
crossover that we
here?
all wanted. We never
Huh?
knew we needed it. It's like the crossover that we never knew we needed.
That's right.
I know.
That's
Whole
right.
mashup.
That's
I know.
absolutely right. I do want to say Morgan Freeman's voice. I really don't give a shit if the Earth is flat or round or oval or.
enough.
I really don't care. Just I'm just gonna throw it out there right now.
He
You're
said,
trying
"Can
to
we
convince
please
me?
not
You're
talk
just gonna
about
waste
this
your
tonight?"
breath because it doesn't affect my life one way or another. I don't really care.
You liked my video where I broke it down biblically, and that's all I care about.
Yep, you got that like.
You liked
Ooh,
it.
caught him.
You listened to what I said, so I'm gonna leave it. As long as
I'll
you're
always
listening to me,
listen.
I'm
I
not.
just I don't like. There's certain things to me that I just don't care.
He
for.
will listen though. I'll give him that. Like when I go off on my crazy tangents, he's like, okay. Like he'll listen to you.
See, but Tex has that advantage over Morgan Freeman's voice because when I try to explain something to Morgan Freeman, she's like, "No, fuck you, I'm not listening." Every time I try, like even if I just say, "Just consider this," like forget what you think
Nope.
for like 30 seconds, she's like, "No," and I'm like,
I
"There's
am
no
not
talking to you."
watching that movie.
Bullshit, you're not because I watched 2 seasons of that fucking show. Pardon my French.
Well, here let's talk. Let's
But
talk movie.
you
You can
love
cuss on here.
it.
It's fine.
and you'll like the movie.
But you love the show.
Who watched
love the
2000
show.
Mules?
Not it.
I have not watched that.
None of us watched it. The conspiracy people didn't watch it either.
Dude,
Listen,
I don't
you
watch
have to put
anything
me on
anymore.
for me to watch something.
I do.
Yeah, I don't
need
watch
to
anything.
see again what I already know. I already believe that's what happened. Like I don't need to watch it again and be sold a pillow every 5 minutes. Like
That's a lot of times the reason why I
So I
don't
do got a
watch.
question because I'm sure all of you guys have gotten it too. Where like people are like, "Oh, thanks to 2000 Mules this or 2000 Mules that." Of course, what is you guys' like kind of just synopsis of the feedback that you're getting on it?
I don't even know what it is, so explain it to me real quick.
Well, it's
Because
about
I'm not paying attention to what the people
it's
are
a
doing.
moneymaker for what's his name, Dinesh D'Souza.
Souza.
So
Yeah.
he's got to make money, and so it's just basically they did the same thing that the CDC did, but we don't mind that they did it. We just mind when the CDC did it. So they bought our geographical locations at certain voting booths, so they can
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
track.
No. That's a whole no. That's a whole no.
Well, but it's okay that he did it because it proves election fraud. But when the CDC does it, we're like all up in arms about it.
And
even
nobody
though they bought
noticed
the same
this.
thing.
Nobody that's watched it really, that's talking about it or that loves it, has really put together like you guys. But they just admitted that they did the same thing that we're against. Like I get that it went in your favor, what you wanted it to say, but is it really okay that he was able to do that? No.
Right.
You have the power to be able to do that or the money.
Right.
And so from what I've heard is basically based on the geographical locations that they were able to find in that area, there was way many more votes than there was people actually there with their cell phones.
So basically,
You know
what we
what's
know
funny
has
about
been
that?
going on for years.
Right.
I mean,
Listen,
like we've all known that's
so
occurred.
that I knew about that happening just after the election.
Right. Well, I guess
Yeah.
now like they're trying to say that
About
this
this?
is their like smoking gun. This is their actual evidence. Like we all knew it, but now
Right, but like
they're saying-
why wasn't
There was already
then
there was
Mike
reports
Lindell
coming
offering
out
all
about
that
it,
money?
but nobody was paying attention to it.
right.
Well, remember when Mike Lindell was like, "Oh, I'll give X amount of $1 million if you can prove me wrong." Apparently, nobody ever did that. Nobody ever proved him wrong, and nothing happens.
Right.
We can know, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, and like you have the knowledge, but what are we gonna do about it? And then we're all just like, "Oh, well, we're just gonna be angry about it. We're gonna sit here and be angry about it."
But that's the case with anything. That's literally the case with anything that anyone bitches about when it comes to politics in general. It's look at all this shit. We're so mad. Well, what are you gonna do?
And then
I'm gonna
vote
be
the
mad
same
about it.
motherfuckers back in.
Exactly. You're gonna turn around and you're gonna
Right.
vote for the same ass. Everyone in New York, I love everyone in New York, all my New York friends. Y'all are gonna bitch about Hochul. Y'all motherfuckers will still vote her in.
Do I have?
You'll vote her
No,
right
no,
back
no,
into
no.
office, and you'll be in the same boat you've been in for the last 4 years. So I get tired of hearing it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you wonder if it's like people are scared.
I'm tired of seeing it.
I wonder if people are just scared to ask, like, how though? Because
I think
like
it's Stockholm syndrome.
It's
Well,
Stockholm syndrome.
It's Stockholm
Oh,
syndrome.
definitely.
You're
And,
used
and
to
the
it.
reason why I
Like,
say that is, and I
Right, like-
totally agree with that, is so Texas, we had our primary election back in March. In 2020, you could not find a Hot Wheels supporter at all. Like,
Mhm.
not one. If you went on to Hot Wheels Facebook, official Facebook, it was all nothing but negative comments the entire 2020 year.
Yeah.
Then March 2nd, 2021 rolls around. He allows us to do shit that we were already supposed to be allowed to do per the Constitution. And the motherfucker got celebrated. And he won by over 1 million votes
border's still
on
wide
the
open.
Republican side of things.
Yeah.
And isn't it well within his like gubernatorial powers, I guess, so to speak, make him sound like a damn wizard? To close the border, right? Like just to
He could. Yeah,
Right.
no, he can do a lot to the border.
Yeah.
He might not be able to close it like specifically, but he can arrest and he could put up a fence, which he's
but he
kind
could have
of-
lowered, at least put a dent, lowered,
Yeah.
helped lower
Yeah,
the
he-
amount of people that were coming across.
He's going to utilize it for election, just like the Democrats are going to utilize 2A and abortion for election.
Yeah.
but it's
I mean,
but like why is there nothing being shown? Like what is going on at the border now? Is it still like that? Like you don't hear about it anymore.
Well, you
No
see,
one-
when Kamala Harris went and visited the border, oh, wait, she never did.
I was like,
But Jill Biden went to Ukraine.
right in the street
Yeah.
in a war zone. In a
Yeah, it's a war zone, and we send our third in command.
Aren't there like
Nancy
concerts and
Pelosi.
stuff going on over there?
Yeah,
What's that?
So aren't there like concerts and stuff going on over in Ukraine?
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, Nancy
joke.
Pelosi just
Joke.
walking down the street, like
there's a lot of weird shit over there. You watch some videos and the whole place is on fire. Kids are
Yeah.
getting shot in the street, and then our
I tried to
government
tell you it
officials
was
are over
more
there, and
shit.
it's like,
Did
what's
you see
going on?
the president today
This-
addressing some Grammy Awards shit today?
No.
wait, what?
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah.
He addresses the Cannes Film Festival today
Oh my
For
god.
why?
because he's a damn celebrity. Remember, he's an actor, like
An
legitimately.
actor.
He is an actor.
Yeah.
100%.
Literally, I'm not
Actor.
saying this to be figuratively, but yeah, he
They're
literally
all
addresses the
actors.
entertainment industry.
They're
He's
all-
at war, like. But we got
This-
time to go and be entertained.
This has like major
We'll
Hillary
figure
Clinton
this out
being on the
later.
tarmac taking sniper fire vibes. That's what this whole thing is. I was under heavy sniper fire when I landed in Serbia or Bosnia, wherever the hell it was. And she was like 30 miles away from any of the conflict. That's exactly what's going on in the Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
There's some kid lighting firecrackers off. They're like, did you hear those gunshots? Yeah, totally.
That was my favorite. Was like when he jumped. He's like, "Did you guys hear that?" And I'm like, "No."
No, I heard nothing.
I saw one where this girl was sitting in a chair and she like rocked the chair and like fell out of the chair and she's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, nothing happened. You rocked the chair. You did that.
Like, I'm not saying that nothing was going on. I'm just saying that like what you were showing me, I'm not buying. Like it's a little sketch, and it was always the same
I've
like
seen
worried mother with her children who now all of a sudden can just like go live constantly from her bunker in the basement. Same
Right.
one. Same
Right.
one.
But,
He's
but,
always
but my
weird.
5G cell phone
Yeah.
doesn't work in where I live. Shut up.
right. Well,
These
I
go-
mean, Osama bin Laden was able to upload videos from a cave on a dialysis machine. So, I mean, obviously, you can do that in the Ukraine in the middle of a conflict.
Right.
So, we're good.
Did you see the
But did-
live that I posted that was a explosion that was on a loop?
It was on a loop. I'll do you one
It
better.
was on a 4-minute
Yeah,
loop.
I did see
I saw
that posted.
I saw 4 separate videos when the Ukraine thing started of them picking strategic locations within the Ukraine. They had cameras set up and a mob full of people further away from them. And the guy literally yelled action and everyone ran at the camera screaming in panic. The half of the shit was fucking staged.
like,
half of the stuff they put on there was like, look at everyone running. They're actors.
Do it with the caravan under Trump, the big caravan that came up. They're all wearing Disney clothes and they're all wearing brand new shoes and they're wearing sandals and they're clean as a whistle and just looking ready to go. And I'm like, you're trying to tell,
You walked all that way?
believe that like in some flip flops with a
No.
white Mickey Mouse T-shirt and you're still clean to this day.
No. Fuck.
And then they some of them had wristbands on. Like, that's weird. I'm not saying why, because I don't know why. but you should want to know why, bro.
I did.
You can find fake footage though. Like you
I
can see that.
asked-
You can find the behind the scenes stuff. It's out there.
Well, true. I asked every Democrat I came across when they were trying to like blame the border crisis on Trump. I said, okay, that's fine. I will believe you if you can answer one simple question like, okay, how come they showed up in Biden 2020 shirts? That's all I'm asking. Just one legitimate answer to that question, and I will accept what you're telling me is fact. And they were like, well, you see, my checking and my shut up. You have no answer.
Here's the second question. How the hell did Haitians get over to the border?
It's an even better question.
I
don't have an answer for it. But like,
My question is, I want to know why every time the left hears immigration, they always think of Mexico.
Why they
Just
what?
Mexico. When they think of immigration, they just think of Mexico.
Facts.
That's the
Because-
only immigrations. That's the only ones they're worried about.
yeah, but do people realize the amount of like?
It's very little.
We'll call them
Mexican
undocumented. I'll be politically correct for the moment. Undocumented people and drugs come in through the Canadian border.
And children.
Right.
And children.
A
No one
lot
pays
of
attention to
children.
that. And it's
They
like,
come
look at
over
how big
in
it is compared to
boats.
the Mexico border.
They
And
come
they
over in
overdose
boats.
on the fentanyl that they come with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys remember seeing that? Like, I remember the footage of like kids' shoes and kids' clothes ripped with blood and documents and condom wrappers and used condoms and
Cats is pro-life all the way down to the slugs.
cats. I'm proud of you. One of the last times that we were
That's
in,
how pro-life Cats is. Unless you're not pro-life like Cats, you're not pro-life.
I don't
You're
even
still
want to hear it.
pro-choice.
I don't even want to hear it. I love how the storyline with the slugs has just continued over to every episode. It's like a side story.
Here we go.
What's going on with the slugs?
This is one of my nice liberals, just so y'all know.
Okay.
Wait, isn't he on TikTok?
Yeah, he's on TikTok. He's always in my lives. He's always respectful.
Is he like a t-shirt as his profile picture?
But here's the problem, Andrew, is you don't have a flood of immigrants coming through the northern border like you do the southern border.
No.
And it's not about white or non-white. It's just we want legal immigration, period.
Right.
I mean,
Come here all you
it's-
want to. Just do it the right way.
Right.
100%. And it's not that like there's not like they don't come across the Canadian border. They do in relatively large volumes, but it's not as out of control
Right.
as it is at the Mexico border.
No, I know
I mean,
that they
that's-
still do. I mean, it is a little bit harder to come across the Canadian border, though, just because of the demographics of getting there. I mean,
Yeah.
Southern America is right there,
Right.
right up through Mexico. So of course you're going to have all the Latinos from South America coming up. Where are you coming from the North Pole?
I heard
Russia.
from someone
I
that they
really
were
feel like that's
flying
odd.
them
Then
into
you got to go
Canada.
like up and around, and ain't nobody going up that high.
You do? I'm sorry.
I heard they were flying them in from other countries.
You heard they were what?
I was told that they were flying them in from other countries, and they were predominantly Asian that were coming in from the Canadian border. And I have no way to verify that, so like, don't quote me on that as 100% fact.
Oh,
But someone I spoke to said that, and I was
I'm gonna
like,
dig into that.
that's interesting to me. That
That's
with all of the shit going on, that Biden's in bed with the CCP. There's Asian immigrants coming in from the northern border, bringing in fentanyl and children and everything else. That's a little strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, then that's my thing. Like, I'm
What
all
do you
about.
guys
I'm
think
all
about
about.
this excuse? The excuse for the illegal immigration is that we destabilize their government, so therefore it's okay for them to come over here illegally.
No.
I don't think that it is. It's just there's a way to do it. And
I don't think that's how it works,
there's
but
a beautiful method of doing it. And I'm first generation American. My dad immigrated from Ireland. And he did it the right way. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? No, it's not the easiest thing in the entire world, but it shouldn't be. Like, if we really want our country to be amazing and wonderful and great, like, and people want to be here, take the steps that it takes. And there are things that are set in place for these catastrophic things, and all the rest of it. We do have those little safety nets, but it's like it's never enough. And it's always more to where are you not going to be happy until the entire border is open? Like, at what point can we meet in the middle and say we need to secure it without looking, locking us in?
Well, and if you think about the destabilization of governments, I mean, the last 2 decades, we've destabilized almost the entire Middle East between Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq. And we don't say, oh, well, come on over. Like, and they're not trying to come over either, not to the masses that the South America is. So, like, the whole destabilization doesn't justify or fly with me.
There's a couple of things with that. To Andrew's credit, I will say that the immigration process is way too complex and it takes way too long.
Have you compared it to other countries?
I would say that if with the volume of people that are trying to come into this country from that border, if they truly want a better life and they truly want to come here, you could probably refine that process so it doesn't take that long. I will say that. The second thing I'm going to say about that is look at what's going on now with supply chain issues, the shortages that exist across this country. With the population that exists in this country at its current state, they're having a hard time getting stuff where it needs to go. People are having a hard time getting the stuff that they need. I understand that other people are struggling. We can't take care of our own people. And you have to be able to take care of yourself first before you can start opening the door to other people and take care of them, or everybody's screwed.
Wyatt, here's my counter argument on bringing down the immigration process and making it easier. Harvard, Yale, and Stanford are all prestigious colleges that are extremely hard to get into, correct?
I'm not saying make it easier. I'm saying that I feel like the process takes too long. I'm not saying make it easier, lower the requirements and let everybody in, but
in some situations I have seen it take entirely too long.
I mean, like, it took my dad's wife, I think, 10 years or so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is don't.
She's from Indonesia.
The requirements,
and so I obviously didn't jump on her ass about being over here. She was doing it legally, and I didn't care. Just to Andrew's point that they're non-white. I mean, my dad's wife is non-white. She's Indonesian.
Right.
And I didn't care that she came over. She was doing it legally and did it legally. And now she's a full citizen. So I don't mind that. But the whole race thing. So it's always the left bringing up the race so much.
Yeah. I'm not 100%.
And then we have like boy who cried wolf syndrome going on now. You know what I mean? Like, we're both a part of the problem, but like, I'm gonna like the left is the most guilty of that. To where it's like, well, it's racist. Well, it's racist. Well, it's racist. And then for me, I'm kind of like, stop saying it so much, or nothing's gonna be racist. And then boom, we have this shooting, and I see people that are conservatives that are like, it was fake. No, but he's just a kid. No, but he's not racist. Like, no. But this was actually
racist.
You have to acknowledge it when you see it. You can't.
This is textbook racism.
Yeah,
but that's what happens. It's the same conversation we got in 2 weeks ago with Izzy Centric on there when it comes to like religion. You know, when it's church, McDonald's, church, Taco Bell. When you're constantly throwing that stuff in everyone's face 24/7, it devalues it and it loses all meaning. Therefore, when a true racist act gets perpetrated in society, you can't identify it anymore because it's lost all meaning to it. Well, is it really racist? And you have to question it.
Well, but
that's totally screwed, in my opinion.
Right.
Well, and now is it like too late? Like, how bad did we like? Can do enough of us actually see it? And I pray to God that enough of us do see it, and that we're not totally lost as a people. But like, we're doing this with everything. Everything is getting like boy who cried wolf. Like,
right.
It not just racism. I mean,
they label everything as a hate crime nowadays because there's so many disenfranchised fringe groups of the population, and everyone needs their own special segment of it. That, well, it's automatically a hate crime. Well, how is it a hate crime? Well, I identify as a toaster, and you threw one in the trash the other day, so hate crime. No, that's not how this works, because you've done all of this. The true victims of hate crime and racial acts and anything like that are going unnoticed. And that problem is still existing. And you're catering to these, and I hate saying it this way, but you're catering to these individuals who you're really not oppressed. You're really not being hated on. You just don't like that someone doesn't agree with the bullshit that you're spewing.
You just want to be liked more.
Yeah,
It's never about being equal with anything like this. It's never really about truly just being equal. Someone's always wants
Everybody wants special attention.
a little bit more. Everybody wants their
Treat
butt
me a little bit different.
that's exactly what it is, and it goes back to the whole zero sum thing that I always say when it comes to a lot of situations in politics. And this is a hot take, and it might be an unpopular opinion, but I'll say it because I'm friends with all of you. Nobody ever had a problem with gay marriage being legalized. I don't think anybody really, except for like the Westboro Baptist Church, and fuck them, they don't count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody really had a problem with it. But I think what happened is you have this entire generation of kids that were told, you're special. Everything you do is amazing. Nothing you do is wrong, Johnny. So they grow up thinking that like literally everything they do is God's gift to mankind. They see an entire group of people get, for lack of a better way to put it, special treatment. You know, gay couples, lesbian couples, and stuff like that. And it's like, well, gee, I want that time in the spotlight. I'm not special anymore because I'm an adult. And they keep coming up with this shit.
I saw a TikTok this morning. This girl came out to her family, and her 10-year-old sister was like, "Yay, I'm so proud of you. Good for you," and jumping up and down, screaming. And I'm like, "You guys are treating it like it's a superpower."
Yeah.
It's not super. It doesn't make you special.
Well,
you sleep with somebody of the same gender.
No.
Who cares?
Well, there's TV shows now. I think it was on Disney Channel the other day, and it was a group of superheroes, and that was their superpowers. Like my daughter is like, well, this one's non-binary, and this one is this, and this one, and I was like, oh, okay, and she's like, I don't know what any of that means though.
Stop it, the dumb. I can't.
But that's what I'm saying is you have all of these.
Like, can I watch YouTube? And I'm like, please, which is weird because it used to be the other way around, and now I'm like, yeah. Go watch the pranks for.
But that's the point that I'm making is you have so many of these things out there now that the people that say them, I don't think truly understand them. It's just another way for them to feel special. And far be it for me to knock you from feeling comfortable in your own skin.
Absolutely.
If you identifying as an underwater basket weaver somehow brings you a level of wholesomeness otherwise have,
you can get a doctorate in underwater basket weaving.
That's
looked into it.
Tell me that shit ain't true. That ain't true.
That's been a joke I've used for years.
No, it is true. I looked into getting a degree in it because I heard, I was like, I want a doctorate, like Jill Biden said. People have to call me Dr. Cat. So I looked into easy doctorates to get, and underwater basket weaving is in fact one of them. Google it.
And we wonder why college is through the fucking roof.
Listen, underwater basket weaving does not sound easy. It doesn't sound easy.
Where are you going to apply it in life at?
I'm not. I just want people to have to call me doctor. That's it. That's
right. That's what she's going to apply it to. I am a doctor.
The same way the liberal
Mrs.
arts
Kit
degrees.
Kat should be like, doctor. She's Dr. Cribs now.
Hell, it's 2022. Just identify as a doctor and you're good. You don't even have to go get the college.
Boom. You don't even have to
there you
get
go.
the doctor. And you know what's the same people
Cat.
that
Get your
those
bio.
schools.
We call that trans educational. It's a new
Thank
thing.
you.
Listen, the people who started those schools are the same people that are pushing the agenda. Oh, it backfired. Look what happened. I don't have to go to your school. I identify as a doctor.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that the government sits back and thinks about that? Like they sat there and they're like, okay, we need to come up with all these fringe groups of people to create some division. And they thought it would just stay in this small little pocket, and then it just exploded to this, and now they're all sitting there and the fucking boardroom. We fucked up so bad.
No, I think they did it intentionally.
I do too.
They were like, here, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this and this, and split those ones and those ones.
Well, it is. It's just modern day segregation, but instead of someone doing it to you, you're doing it to yourself.
Well, we've been doing
this and this. It's never been
for
this
years.
and this. It's this and then this. They do it together. They're not against each other. They're all having.
That's what I keep trying to
they're
tell
all
people.
drinking together and human trafficking together and
They're
buying.
having a grand old time.
Porn together.
They don't care about
all
us.
the rest of it.
And the more that we fight, the more money that they make.
But if we just actually ignored them and we're like, all right, cool, and we just didn't do it, we'd be fine. We really don't need a bunch of people telling us what to do. We don't.
No, Joe Rogan said it best. He goes, trying to pick the smartest person out of a group of 100 to 200 people is pretty easy to do. Mm-hmm. But doing it out of how many people are in the United States. I don't know. I'm not going to throw out a number, but trying to find the smartest person out of that many people, it's never going to work.
No.
Never.
Listen,
What?
somebody fact check me. I think it's 330 million. Just fact check me real quick.
I know there's
The amount of people in the
7.7
United States?
billion in the world.
You're talking about the amount of people in the United
Same.
States?
Yes, in the United States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
I don't want to know how you just pulled that out
It's
of
like
thin air.
330,
But,
333. But you're close enough to be right.
Freeman's voice.
but that's what I'm saying. You're trying to find the smartest
watching
person
shit.
out of 300
I'm watching
million
these
people. Yeah, man.
Texas
Shut
what?
up, Tip.
We're
I'm
actually
watching
talking about
y'all.
politics.
338.
Best.
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough.
It is.
That works.
That's a win. That's a win.
But you're also talking about people who haven't lived like any one of the four of us in the last 30 fucking years. So what do you really know about what I need in my daily life to succeed? Nothing. You know absolutely nothing.
I always think this like when me and Brittany talk, ironically, Brittany, because I'm like, man, you're like a street rat like me. Like the more that we would start talking and the more that you feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Street rat?
Look, people that grew up like that and lived like that, like it's embarrassing to talk about with some people because some people start like doing what they think is trauma dumping and you're like, oh, and then you swoop in and everyone's
And
like,
start trauma dumping, and people are like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh,
stop talking.
shit.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Are you okay? How are you alive right now?"
right.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I've told a
like,
few stories like that.
But it is like that's kind of our generation as like a whole though almost like we weren't really raised by parents. We weren't
Yeah,
like
no.
we went out, we were gone all damn day long doing
4 years old, blocks away from my
Mhm.
house. I vividly remember being blocks away from my house at 4 years
Yeah.
old by myself.
and you
Mhm.
come home at a certain time, you were gone all damn day.
Straight lights.
Street lights.
Missing
That's
from-
when I knew I had to go home.
Yep. And if I didn't, my dad whooped my
Now you can't get the kids
ass.
out of the fucking house.
Nah.
and we
See,
don't
but I
know
always-
It's not allowed to leave
I
the
always
yard.
had a theory with that though. If I was 5 minutes, I was going to be in the same amount of trouble when I was 5 minutes late home or 4 hours late being home.
Yeah, me
So if
too.
I missed the deadline by even 1 minute, fuck it,
Hey.
I'm staying out.
I apply
My
that,
dad used to
I
say that
apply
to me.
that
If you're
same
late,
rule-
just be late.
I apply that same rule to work. I mean, if I'm late, I'm late. And if I'm like 4 hours late, I just bring coffee or something, you know?
I'm
There
the
you go.
same. I'm the exact same way. If I'm late,
Work
fuck it,
ethic.
I'm late. We just
That's
go
the
get in when
difference.
we
Like you
get
said,
in.
5
I
minutes,
mean,
4 hours, you're late.
Mm-hmm.
right? Why am I gonna stress over what I'm late? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm late. It is
I'm
what it
already
is. We
late.
just
I'm in
gonna
the
be
same
late.
amount of trouble no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
Good night, Heather.
Listen, speaking of Brittany, though, did you get Boston Brittany today?
I did get Boston Brittany today. I got it on Instagram.
Wait, what?
So Brittany got some dental work done. Okay. And for some
But
reason,
they numbed everything, so she
Wow,
was
they
like
numbed
this.
It was
She's
so
literally
funny.
she's from Boston, Texas. That's how she's talking.
It was so
Wait,
funny.
Which Brittany?
Ironically, Brittany.
Ironically,
I have
Brittany.
a voice recording, although I would feel horrible playing it to the world, so I won't. But it's really funny. It's
See, I
really
caught it.
Bad.
I caught it on Snapchat after it already happened when I was catching up. I missed the chance to ask her to say things for me.
Yeah, it went by quick because like the first half of my voice recording, she was from Boston. And then she was like, Boston. And I was like, and then I'm like, oh, that okay, you're done. Okay.
We're gone. It's done. We're good. Tex, did your girlfriend just call you out like that?
She probably went home and passed out, honestly.
I'm late for working from home too.
Home.
I mean,
Who you bringing coffee to, Tex, buddy?
to myself. Like, well, I'm already late.
He goes out to Dunkin' to get himself the coffee and comes back and be like, "I'm a treat."
No,
me.
I'm too. Hey, I'm too lazy for that. I ain't leaving home to go get something.
Right?
I'm
Who's
staying
doing
here.
that?
You wouldn't,
I did during lockdown when I had to work from home.
emphatically speaking, leave home to like go get things for a TikTok?
Yeah, I've done that. I'm not that lazy.
You remember the War on Women video? He had to go get stuff for it. So he's like on FaceTime with us, like, I gotta find goggles.
Wait, you went out and bought all that shit?
Not
I
all,
have goggles here. I have goggles up there.
but yes, he did.
I admire the dedication to the bit.
It was
That
hardcore
was
dedication.
perfect.
He went to 2 different stores.
I mean,
Too
I
good.
thought
Except the thing that pissed me off. Here's what pissed me off about that is I do the video. I got like 6,000 views. Cool. Somebody duetted it.
OG Jeep girl.
OG Jeep Girl. She duets it and she gets like 20-some thousand views off it. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? She just sat there. I did all the hard work. She reaped all the benefits.
Because she's gorgeous. All she's got to do is
Equality, though.
like,
I wasn't gonna say it.
The
I mean,
rest
I
is great,
thought-
yeah. And then he
The
told the
rest
Home
is-
Depot guy, he's like, I got to get ready, man. It's a war on women. I was like, I'm done with you.
He's like, what are you doing with all this? I was like,
No, the real war on women is right now.
He like looked at me. I was like, yeah. It's like, you're in the wrong state for that. And then Austin said, bet
Light
for my
is
beer.
turning on across my room, and it's scaring me.
What?
I got one of those like little movement nightlight things, and I keep forgetting that I put one in the bathroom. So like every once in a while, the light goes off, and I'm like, "Hello."
But I gotta ask what was the reception you got on your Hot Wheels video?
Me? Oh, I don't even remember. I can look at it though. It did it
You
blow
have
up?
that video?
It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Every time
I
I
did
go
get
on Hot Wheels, I get attacked from the right. Every time. Every time. I've told that
Oh,
story.
I didn't
about
get
being hurt.
yeah, no. I didn't get
I educated all the
for it,
voters
really.
beforehand, like, hey, this is how he got in a wheelchair. This is what he did post wheelchair. This is what he did with the money.
But Pax not to
It's
be
got
like,
633 likes on it.
yes, I mean people liked it. So here's my thing though, is
There's
that
no hate on it. I don't argue with people though, so
Her
I
group
usually
of,
just
like-
delete it.
like the people who follow you may not necessarily. It's different. It's different content. Like
It is
And that's why I was wondering what the reaction was if she got hate like I do.
So
probably
when I
not.
started on TikTok, it started out like a whole bunch of Trump stuff, and then I did a Q post and a Jason Momoa post, and then I was like, "Oh, people love conspiracy theories," so I just took it and ran with it. So the majority of the people that follow me are conspiracy theorists.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So they're
Every
not-
once in a while, I'll get a liberal that pops in, and they're like, and I usually
Yeah,
put
but
the
you're
yarn
not
emoji.
gonna get shit from your people for calling out people who happen to be conservatives because they're a little bit more. They
Yeah.
know.
Critical.
Well, but when it hits the FYP, doesn't other like conservatives that don't follow you comment or engage or no?
I'm sure, but like nobody, I haven't got a whole lot of hate on that.
Man, I got so much hate from bashing Hot Wheels. It was.
You always do though.
I don't argue
enjoy
with
it,
people,
but it's
though.
just like that's when I started like waking up to this whole thing, and it was as far as like the Stockholm syndrome is the fact that like the dude violated 16 of our constitutional rights, and
Mhm.
you're just gonna reelect the guy? We're gonna reward him for violating our rights? I thought that's what we stood for, like part of our principles.
We
As
do.
I heard he had a connection to DeSantis, and that's why I dug on him. Because I
See-
don't trust DeSantis.
The whole Hot Wheels thing was a very glaring example, and I will give the left credit in this. The left can, at times, hold their own responsible when it comes to politicians. They can point out where the faults are. Not all the time, and not very well, but they do it. The right will never do that. The right will slam anyone on the left all day long, like AOC, all of them. But the moment you start talking shit about Dan Crenshaw, Hot Wheels, any of them, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
I know.
Mhm.
No, you got to be able to call your own people out too. This is
and
this
that's
is
where
not how this
obviously
works.
I get a lot of
They
hate.
get upset.
I don't have.
That Goose video. Woo!
Wait, what?
Whoa, did I upset some people because
Listen,
yeah,
Dan
when I
Crenshaw is an elitist.
Matt
Oh,
Gaetz,
You
like
don't have to tell me.
involved.
I said that before the election when he
He's
first
a
got
globalist.
elected. I knew that
100%.
from the start. I've never been a Dan Crenshaw
Did
guy.
you see State of the Union address when they're all standing outside, the picture that they took?
Uh-uh.
No.
Well, there's a picture of everybody standing outside, and if you look at it, there's a perfect triangle, and he is at the peak of it with his little patch, with his little one patch.
Was a lot patch.
Like, you're not telling us. Yeah. As
Thank
soon as
you.
I saw it, I
Andrew.
said, of course, that just confirms
Yeah,
everything I already knew.
Yay. We can agree on that.
The fucking muffin.
He
I'm
was
gonna have to use that.
That is fantastic. He's a muffin. That's
Yeah, I've
But
never heard that
that's
as an
what I
insult
thought.
before.
That's when I remember telling my husband, that's when I thought that the election, like that's when I really saw them cheat, was with Bernie Sanders and like the Elizabeth
Oh my
Warren thing.
God.
Twice.
How are you
Twice.
letting this happen?
And this is where Wyatt is going to eat some crow here because the Democrats didn't do a fucking thing about
True.
it.
Fair.
But you
Here's
have
my
a
thing.
bunch of
They didn't even, there was no uproar at all about it.
You had conservatives that were like, bro, Bernie had that though. Like
Bernie
conservatives.
should have won in 2016. And I think, in all honesty, if we're being 100, I think he would have given Trump a better run for his money.
I do too.
And Hillary did.
I do
I
too.
do.
yep. I did too.
I think he could have won that election in 2016.
Absolutely.
I don't know how Bernie
Nobody likes
ever
Hillary.
gets it. I mean, well,
Nobody likes Hillary Clinton.
Nobody likes Hillary.
Nobody
No.
likes
Nobody likes Hillary Clinton.
But I'm glad you bring that up because I have a question, and maybe one of the three of you can help me answer this question. Okay,
maybe.
we're all aware of the fact that the DNC, in fact, did rig a primary to screw Bernie Sanders. Correct? I mean,
Right.
we all talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward to 2016, we wholeheartedly, the left. No, sorry, Andrew, I got to say this. We wholeheartedly believe there was Russian collusion that put Trump in the White House. It had to happen. 2 years and millions of dollars later, no evidence to support this whatsoever. Steele dossier was fake. You're all fucking liars. Okay, cool. Glad we can move on from that.
And the Durham
Fast
report's
fo-
about to drop.
Yes. Fast forward to 2020. Clearly something fucked happened with this election.
Something didn't in the
Why
math.
is nobody
Something didn't
Why has
add
nobody
up.
been penalized yet, though, for that rigged election? The lying about the Russian collusion. Why has nobody been
They
penalized
don't
for that
go
yet?
after each other legally.
Yeah.
They don't. They just tell us like, "Hey, we fucked up really bad. Okay, we're gonna go
Yeah.
back to fucking up."
I think
Bye.
it's,
But
Right.
Why is it so acceptable for people to believe that there was collusion with Trump to get him in the office, but not that Biden and all them cheated when the Democrats have a proven track record of rigging elections in their favor? I
But
don't
when
understand
statistics don't work like that. If you know
Where's
anything
the
about
gap?
statistics,
in the logic where people are like, nah, that doesn't make sense.
I just feel like Bernie Sanders had like, I mean, definitely not like a Trump cult following, but like
no, he does. No, he does.
does.
Did you have the
Have
Bernie
you ever-
bros? You got,
have you ever met a
they
Bernie
named
bro?
Themselves, like Bernie Sanders does have the same
Oh, how?
following that
So,
Trump.
like,
yes.
But why don't they ever? Like, why don't I ever hear the left like asking, how the hell has this guy not gone all the way up? Why does this guy never go all the way up?
Bernie Sanders has mittens.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders has been.
Isn't it?
Yeah, and the Bernie Bros are really intense.
They are.
And they have the
They
hand.
are.
I mean, they have the merge too.
The only people I've seen more fanatical on the Democratic side other than Bernie Bros was the Yang Gang. They were Andrew
I
Yang.
remember.
The
Yeah,
Yang
I
Gang.
remember
Oh
it was
my
trying to
god.
be something. I didn't remember
What?
it turning into something.
Yeah.
I don't
The-
remember this.
The people who supported Andrew Yang when he was running for the Democratic nomination called themselves the Yang Gang. And I got to admit, they were fucking hilarious. They were so obnoxious. You couldn't laugh at them because like everything they said was a complete total contradiction. I loved it.
All of
Like-
those groups are though. Like, hey, come on, why? You've seen the people that they pull from our
You've-
fucking party. For
You've never
Bro, why
seen the
pull that
picture.
guy, though?
I gotta find it and I'll send it to you guys later. There's a picture of Andrew Yang with a can of whipped cream and he's like spraying it into his supporters' mouths, like in a really like weird way. I fucking died for weeks straight with the memes coming from that. I mean, they were premium memes. But yeah, they were.
Democrat would be the end of the
He's
party
talking about Bernie.
business.
Yeah, he's talking about Bernie. Because he is.
I see nothing wrong with that. Just
I think we should just get rid of both of them.
Well, I mean, in
that's
all
what I'm
honesty,
saying. Tank the Democratic Party. Like I don't care.
Trump wasn't a part. Who knows when Trump actually joined the Republican Party? But he wasn't.
Later on, because like I saw interviews and stuff like that when
He was a
would-
Democrat.
Oprah, yeah, he was Democrat, but he said that he would always run as a Republican, which is odd to me.
Well, say the
Not
full
really
quote.
because he's loaded. So
Say the full quote to be fair about it. He said that he would run as a Republican because he could get them to believe anything.
yes,
That is what he said. And everyone's like, well, he said that. And I was like, Okay, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz called the Latino community Taco Bowl voters. What's your point? Politicians say fucked up shit every
They
day.
do.
All the time.
They do. That
All
none
the
of
time.
them, like, for me to say that, like, I do believe that Trump was probably one of the most for us presidents, but that's saying a lot. Or that's not saying a lot. You know what I mean? Because none of them are for us at all whatsoever. So it's like it was like the foster parent that took us out of an abusive relationship, but like he still smacks us around once in a while, but it's not as bad, right? It's not as bad as where we were.
Oh my God.
Listen, when I
I'm
found out
not
Donald Trump
wrong.
was running for president, I was
You're
so
not
mad. I
wrong.
was
Like, that's just fucked up.
I was like, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton
All
are
right.
choices. What is
Drama.
happening to the world? And then I started noticing that everybody started to hate Donald Trump after he was their best friend for years. And I said, oh, I'm voting for him. And I've been on his side ever since.
Oh, you mean
Because they
like
hate him.
Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson?
Yeah,
and
all
the
his little
members of the black
besties just
community?
instantly turned on him. Like,
Yeah.
just, we hate him. What?
Did tons of
Since
work for the
when?
African American community his entire career, but the moment
They're
he
like,
runs
yeah,
for
fuck
office, he's a
that guy.
racist. Okay.
Right. Like, out of nowhere, y'all hate him? Okay. I'm going to vote for him just because you guys hate
No,
him.
and I agree with Andrew. He is super easy to hate. I can absolutely.
He really is.
see.
He is.
But here's
For
my
me-
thing, Andrew. Because he's so easy to hate, right? Like other countries didn't know what the fuck that guy was gonna do. So you know what other countries didn't do? They didn't fuck with us.
Yep.
Because he was always a little off his rocker, right? You never knew what he was gonna do. He was always spouting off, and everybody thought he was gonna put us in a war. And because he had like that, nobody fucked with us during that time. We weren't
Everybody
being
left us alone.
during that time. We weren't out like searching for
I'm easy to hate.
who I am.
And you can always find a reason to hate somebody if you're looking for one.
Oh yeah.
See, but here's what bothers me. What people always say about Trump, like we didn't know. Like, well, Trump was so divisive. Yes, I know that was intentional.
They didn't trust us.
Well, what do you mean it was intentional? Think about what he did. How many people can you identify as rhinos now that you couldn't identify as a rhino before Trump?
Oh my god.
Same,
Thanks.
same number.
Okay, so Tex is the exception to the rule here.
No, I mean, I've just been so involved since.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's going to be an exception to it, but most people now can identify more rhinos than they could before.
Yeah, it's harder
That
to
was
identify
intentional.
at the start of their career, but like give them one term and you can start to see exactly who they
I
are.
definitely blindly followed more than what I thought I did pre-Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was like that because I always read up on who was running and went through. But did I really, or did I just read the material that they provided me with? You know,
Right.
and all
Exactly.
the things.
Right.
I mean, he basically put a mirror up to the GOP and was like, look at your hypocrisy.
Mhm.
I mean, he really showed that the right is no better than the left when it comes to a lot of
Yep.
things. And I think that's what people needed to see. So, right or wrong, love him or hate him, he did something good.
I mean, but one could even like devil's advocate this is that Joe Biden's doing the exact same thing to his party right now. And maybe that's what we needed was a really for this and then a really for this. And like, okay, guys,
I think
now though, like, are we going to do it right this time? We're going to do it? Probably not.
Probably not.
unfortunately, I think Trump also created a lot of radicals on our side.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He is just their God.
I mean, you can't like even when he was in office and he said the red flag law essentially when he was sitting in that office there with his arms crossed, talking about taking away guns and then go to court. And it was like the right remains silent on it. And it's like
Like,
I
okay.
couldn't
I
believe
made a Facebook post about it and I got attacked by all these damn. I'm like, if this was Obama saying this, y'all would be calling his head.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all would be calling for impeachment if this was Obama. But because it's this dumbass in office, now all of a sudden you don't care. Oh, and then he banned bump stocks.
Or
Y'all
they
was
would
on
make some
Obama's
sort of
ass
excuse
about
for it.
that. Trump does it. Now all of a sudden, oh, well, it's okay. It's like,
Because it's okay, because the Republicans were
We
doing
need
it.
to
So
do
it's
this to do this. No,
It's just like
we
you
need
want
to leave our
you think that
Constitution
it's like
alone.
this perfection position, and it's not. It's not. They're all just
that's why I just think like
talk to each other on Twitter for 5 minutes. They act just like the rest of us.
I feel like the reason why it's so hard for people to call out their own is that we've gotten into this mentality here in America that we can't feel like we're wrong. And so we just dig our heels in more on both sides, because you very rarely get a lot of Biden haters from the left. Very few. I mean, there are some.
Yeah.
Just like on the right, because nobody wants to be wrong and criticize their guy, not realizing their guy is not God. He's a human being, or she, depending on what position. But
well, I mean, look at how staunchly people defend things they don't understand. Okay, I mean, we 100% live in the clickbait generation. They read a headline on CNN.com and they think they're an expert about the headline, and they're not, because the lead is buried 7 paragraphs down.
Right.
You find out what the article's actually about.
Even if it's even on the article, they might wait 10 more articles before they put out the real truth.
Yeah, but they see it.
I hate them.
Yeah.
And they get on social media and they hammer it home. Like the Don't Say Gay bill. Oh my God, everyone was an uproar about it until you read the fucking bill and you realize that literally had nothing to do with it.
Well, we did learn, though, there was an amendment on the original bill that literally said "do not say gay," and that's where they got it from.
Right.
So
But what I'm
that's why-
saying is, right.
But it was all stripped out. But no, I get what you're saying.
Well, once it was stripped
Right,
out, they
it
still
was
carried
then
on with that
amended.
story. And then once that story comes out that it was amended and it was taken out, they can't admit that they were wrong.
Yeah, that's a good.
They
point.
just stick right to it, like nope, and that's
These
what
are
everybody does.
These
on
are
both
the
sides.
people who stick to their rough drafts. They don't realize that people come up with ideas and then rewrite. These are the people that
Yes.
just go with the rough draft.
right.
It's political tribalism is what I call it, and I think someone else coined that term.
Mhm.
Is that like you just get? I think anyone having their identity wrapped up in anything, and I don't care whether it's a political party, if it's a sexual orientation, I don't care what it is. If you are so wrapped up in that becomes your identity, it's automatically toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what occurs with all of this stuff. You should not be worshiping these people. They work for us. You don't work for them. And
Yes.
you put them up on these pedestals.
We treat them like a celebrity.
Yeah, they're not.
Right.
On all
public
sides
servant.
of the aisle, we all do it. Unfortunately.
Well, and then over on TikTok,
Yeah, no, I don't at all. I hate them all.
aren't making political content, then it's like, why aren't you talking about politics? Why aren't you? It's not my entire identity. And if it's yours, you need to walk away. Go outside.
Yes.
This is why when I see my state
Go
rep,
find
like
something else for a little tiny bit.
my state rep will run from me, because if I see his ass in public, I'm drilling his ass. And he will literally turn
As you
his
should.
back and walk away from me when he sees
Talk
me.
about avocados ripe in Texas. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, I saw him at the ice cream store. He was getting ice cream. Hey, what kind of ice cream are you getting, Brian? And he's like, cookie dough or something, he said. And I was like, so why do you support Hot Wheels so much? And he goes, excuse me? I was like, yeah, our fucking governor. Why do you support him so much? And he's like looking around. His wife is sitting next to him there, like their church clothes on a Sunday too. And I'm like, I don't care. You work for me.
Right though,
I
facts.
pay you 24/7
it's
to be
true.
my representative.
You're not
He's
wrong.
like, man, I'm
That's
just
true,
trying
though.
to get my two
That's how we
scoops,
should
bro.
all do it with these people.
Right?
Hold your
Imagine
feet to the fire, whether it's your mayor, your county commissioner, no matter what it is. Confront these people and make sure that we hold them to what they ran on.
But we don't.
And I think that's why the left is so surprised about Roe v. Wade, because as a whole, we are so used to politicians telling us what they're going to do and not do it. Trump literally said on the 2016 debate stage, he is going to appoint pro-life judges to reverse Roe v. Wade.
yes.
Here we are.
That's right.
He said it.
Exactly
He
what
was
he
not.
said.
He was not bashful about it.
That was his intention.
Yes.
Here's my thing though, if that's his value system, then why hide it? Why hide your intention? If I just let the people decide. The people will decide. They always
Right.
do. Leave it up to the people, which means giving it back to the states, because that gives it back to the people at least a little bit more than what it was.
But that's the way
Right.
it
We
was
don't want
supposed to
we
be.
don't want the federal government in control of anything.
I was at my son's award ceremony today, and it said that there was like Louis Gohmert was listed on there. I was like, Louis Gohmert's going to be here. I'm fucking going after his ass. Where the fuck is he? And my middle friend goes, who's Louis Gohmert? I was like, oh, he's our U.S. representative. And he goes, Dad, please, not here. And I'm like, no, this motherfucker ran for attorney general for no damn reason. I'm going to ask him why. And it was just a letter they read from him, and I was mad.
He said I didn't get to act out.
He got all sad. Just, oh, shit.
Could you imagine if we all treated them like they worked for us? Stop giving them fucking mansions. Why are we giving them this much
You know,
money?
when I
Don't
see
treat them.
Right.
Wait, Cat. Don't treat them like they work for us. They do work for
They
us.
do.
Don't treat them-
They do
they
work.
if
work
I
for
see
you.
my boss outside of work, guess what we're talking about? Work.
Yep.
So
I
guess
mean,
what? When I see my representative, guess what I'm talking about? Work.
Where?
Listen,
I'm
if I see my
dribbling
boss
your ass.
outside of work, I am not talking to my boss.
Well,
It's just saying. If I see anybody I work with outside of work, I am turning around and walking the other way. Please don't talk to me.
I don't agree with going to their houses.
No.
That I don't
No.
agree with.
No.
Yeah,
And
no,
I won't ever look
that's
up
a
where my
violation of the
representative lives, 'cause
Constitution.
At the end of the day, they got wife and kids. Most of them are
Mhm.
spouse and kids. They don't
But
deserve
you're-
that. They
But
didn't
if you're in
run.
public property, fair game, motherfucker. Let's
They're
go.
out in
Right,
public.
fair game on public
Well,
property.
that's what they're doing. He's kind of referring back to the judges.
No, I know.
Is what I'm assuming, and they are on public roadway. But to me, it's like I don't agree with it. If it was on our side, I don't agree with it on their side. I don't
I
think it should
agree.
happen at their houses.
Don't go to people's houses.
Yeah,
It's unconstitutional. It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment.
on the
No,
judges.
don't go to their house.
I mean, those people are supposed to be the most revered, and we've politicized. It's just that's so
Dumb.
good.
It
Like-
serves no purpose.
Well,
Because you
it's
just-
intimidation, right? That's what they're trying to do is intimidate them to change their vote. That's why they only went after the conservative judges that did vote that way.
Oh, to go to their houses.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an intimidation thing.
Because they got doxxed. So a left wing Ruth Bader Ginsburg organization doxed all the conservative judges that were on there. And so then a lot of them showed up to the houses to talk or to
Nah, they didn't go to all their houses. They went to the houses of the people that they know for a fact supported it.
right. And so like that alone is a crime because you're intimidating a judge. And two, like if we truly want a fair justice system, one, a ruling can't be done on a lie like Roe v. Wade was. I don't care whether you like it or not. It should be on a lie. And now you're trying to intimidate said judges.
Hmm.
God, Amber,
Andrew.
really?
Andrew, let's not do the public record stuff. Like
But
that,
even
that's
so
it's
even
doxing at the end of the day.
not doxing, right? Let's just remove,
It's with malicious intent. It's doxing.
remove buzzwords. It's just fucked up, and it's
No, this was doxing. The only reason why you would do it at this particular time when everybody's heated is to release the addresses is for malicious intent. That's
I would-
legit doxing.
I would
Even
be
with public
inclined to
record,
agree
you
with that.
released it with
I
public
agree with it too.
with malicious intent.
but it's just wrong. Like it's just wrong. Why would you go to their homes? Like they have children in their homes. You want to go surround
Right.
yourself with the home that they work at. You want to bump into them at the grocery store and say, "Go nuts, go nuts."
Mhm.
Right, they have an office. Hang out at their office till they
Right.
show up. You don't
Yeah.
have to hang out at their house. That's an intimidation thing.
That is. And that's why I do claim it as doxing because it is malicious
would.
intent. There's only one reason to release their information. If it's public information like that, then individuals can go look it up.
Mhm.
But to publicly do it on like they did, so that the masses go there, it was for malicious intent.
It's like, yeah, I'm mad. Here's their address.
Mhm.
Other people who are mad like you will go there.
Right.
do
And that's
like
why, like
whatever
for
they
me,
think
like
they're
that's
doing.
why it is doxing on TikTok for addresses and full names and stuff. Because there's only one reason to do it is for malicious intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not trying to send me a dozen baked cookies. You
Right, you're not
you
engaged.
want
Right.
some sort of harm to come.
It's
to
not
you.
like I'm saying, "Hey, F and Wyatt Earp," and then say your real name and say, "Hey, I'm sending you a box of cookies to X and X address. So if anybody else wants to send box of cookies,
Yeah.
you don't do that. Nobody does that. You do it in private. So when this kind of public information gets released, it is still doxing.
I agree.
Cat's meow. What got passed in Florida?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was
Bad.
I was gonna ask.
Ruh-roh.
Amber, you owe me cookies. You promised me cookies back in November, so I'm not sending you shit.
Give me a cookie. I got you a cookie.
Yeah, his real name is Whiter.
As far as you know,
No, that's Fetty Wap. That's F of Fetty Wap.
that was the best thing to come out of her trying to come back at me. Was her saying that.
And it stuck forever.
So I had put out a video because I'd seen enough of it and I got irritated. I'm not gonna say her name. She put out this video talking about Q people. Now everyone knows I follow Q, I dabble in it, whatever you want to say. I don't get to the point where I'm like, I'm elevated. I vibrate on a higher frequency than you. I am so much better than you because fuck all that shit. I hate people that do that. If that's how you're gonna talk, I've got zero time for you. Pack the bags and fucking leave.
I know somebody like that on TikTok.
Yeah, she made.
There's a bunch.
She made this video.
No, there's one in particular that I know. Keep going.
We're probably talking about the same person. Let's be very clear here.
Go.
Let me finish the story. So I made a video and I'm like, if your goal is to wake more people up to what's actually going on, you acting like a pretentious dick.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Amber. You acting like a pretentious dick isn't going to be the way to do that. Be more welcoming. You'll catch more flies with honey than you will vinegar. Yeah. So instead of her commenting on it, she makes her own video directly to me. And she goes, I don't know who it is. I think his name's like Misfit Fetty Wap. And everybody that saw the video instantly started calling me Fetty Wap. And it stuck.
I'm sure Misfit Fetty Wap.
I didn't see
Because
that.
it was Misfit F and Whiter.
And she couldn't get it right.
Or was it just...
Love you too, Amber. But yeah, so now it's Fetty Wap. But text out after the show, we'll see if we're talking about the same person.
I think.
Is it Batty?
Oh no, but fuck her too. Sorry.
Oh, that's what that's.
Anyway.
I said the in my head thing out loud.
You said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
Word vomit.
I had a Biden moment. I'm sorry.
Because when you were talking about pretentious and all that stuff, that's exactly what I started thinking about.
No, but I think that kind of like that can happen when you do the whole like spiritual. In my personal opinion, from my personal experience, in my personal journey, I'm not calling anybody out. But what I do see a lot of, which makes it very unattractive, is that like it's a lot of inner work, right? So you're doing all this work on yourself to make yourself a better person. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna work on my bullshit. I'm gonna be a better person. That you forget why you're doing it is to put it back out, so that you can, it's like a whole thing. If you're gonna take and fix yourself, then you need to fix yourself for a purpose, right? And if it's to wake people up, and if it's to do this, and it's to do this. It's not that you're on a different frequency than them. You're just a little bit more healed than them. You're working on your shit and you're a little bit more healed, which should make you more empathetic to people who aren't and make you want to help more people who aren't to be where you are. Yeah. It's like saying like we're not on the same level. Well, that can sound really arrogant and be true all at the same time. That's why maybe don't say it that way. Just say you're just not where I'm at. You're not at that part yet. But I've gotten to that part and like, let's go. It's not like this. It's like this, yo. Yeah. We're not doing this. We're doing this together.
It also has a lot to do with your tone and your attitude when you say it. Like if you come off very humble, like you just did talking about it, people are going to be more inclined to listen to you. But when you're sitting there with the, and the head roll thing talking about it, I instantly don't want to hear anything you have to say because you're acting like you're better.
I try. Like if I get triggered by a video or if I get overly upset or too angry or too mad, like I try to ask myself why. Because it's not that person's problem, right? It's my problem.
Mm-hmm. And they don't really give a shit that they triggered you.
What?
They don't give a shit that they triggered you.
No, they like that like if it's a video that's meant
right, but they don't like at the end of the day, they don't know if they triggered you or didn't trigger you. So they don't really give a shit.
No, but I do.
You specifically.
But I should, and then figure out why, and then fix that shit, and go wherever I need to go from there.
DeSantis signed HB 1871, which prohibits picketing and protesting outside of a person's place of residence.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. I can't say that I disagree with them on that.
I don't disagree with it at all. I mean, I do believe that personal residence, it should be left on. I mean, it should have been an unspoken rule that we just obeyed anyways, but. What?
Spirit, how do I trigger you daily? How could
I wanna
trigger
know.
you?
How do I
He's
do
like,
it?
what the fuck?
Hey, look at that face.
I trigger somebody, tell
Look
me.
at that face. How the hell you trigger that face? And that upper lip is almost coming up into his eyeballs. I mean, how do you trigger that face?
Oh god.
I want to know which one of us it is.
Yeah.
He said one of the four of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just
every
one of
day
them.
it's one of us.
So it's got to be Morgan Freeman.
Oh no, like it rotates. At least one.
Yeah.
Rotates. At
Trigger.
least one of us every day triggers him.
I guess we all got to learn how to read.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Take
gonna
turns.
wonder. I'm gonna wonder every day if I've triggered him.
I know. Now I'm just gonna make it like a goal.
Amber's gonna
Not more cryptic videos, Amber.
Hey, make that cryptic video to Cat, please.
Why are you guys gonna make mean videos about me?
Who said it was mean? It's just cryptic.
Dicks.
It's cryptic.
Cryptic videos aren't mean.
I'm having a good time over on my TikTok today. Talking about stealing people's souls and people joining my cult.
Listen,
Yeah.
I was
See, that's a unison trigger.
gonna draw a whole like
Wait,
devil's
what?
trap on my floor
Yeah,
Good
the, cra-
comment.
and just sit there pretending to summon in a devil.
the girl that showed back up, she said that like
Who
because
did?
that girl, the you demonic swamp creature, that girl, that red pill girl, she came back to me.
Oh yeah, the one that called
Oh,
us
my
a
God.
lizard person.
So she said that like because I was messing, I was like kind of being a dick to Merch, but like not being that big of a dick to Merch. And he was like, he would never sell he's loyal to his friends and he wouldn't sell his soul. And I'm like, whoa, bro, he's got to sell his soul just to hang out with me? Like, that's dark.
I don't remember signing on that particular dotted line before coming on the show tonight. but-
Listen, cat. They put you up
It was
here.
in the fine
They
print
put
when you hit enter
Put you
room.
on a, they put
Shit.
you on a pedestal. That's because they think highly of you.
The button.
Amber,
It's a good thing Kate
What's up,
showed up
Kate,
late. We should be done by now. She's just now showing up.
what's up? Amber, the official name for him is Baldilocks, just so we're clear.
I love you so much. She's
So,
like,
Full Send University, how can people find you? What
Yeah.
days are you guys on? What times? Give us all the lowdown so that we can try to get you guys some traffic over there too.
He's talking.
I'm the talker. Okay, cool. On both Morgan Freeman's voice profile and mine, there's a link tree there. You can go there. Podcast is the link right at the top. We are on every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. With the exception of when Kat comes on, we have to move it till 8:30 because she's special. And that's
That's
it.
next
Come
weekend,
find
right?
us.
Not this weekend. That's next weekend.
That's next
not this
week.
weekend, right?
That's next week.
Next week.
Mhm.
it's not like I requested it. He was
No, I know. I'm just being a smartass. What did you tell him how that conversation went down though in text messages though? I was like, Kat, I got a question. We really want to know if you want to come on the show. I'm like, you can bring text too. I was wording it was like I was asking her, but saying like I was asking the both of you, but I was asking via her. She came back with, oh, like Tex is the redheaded stepchild. Like, I guess I can drag him along. I'm like, that is not what I meant.
Yeah, she did tell me that, and I was like, "Well, if I'm just the afterthought, no, I don't want to come on. I'll just."
You weren't the
I
afterthought.
was like, "Oh, and text too, by the way." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I see how this is going."
quiet back and I was like, nah, it's cool. I got a sitter for the night. I'm coming solo.
She texted the wrong phone number for 2 days trying to get me on tonight.
Talking about
Oh my god, that was so funny. I Snapchatted her and I was like, "Hey, Kat texted you about going on their show next week." She goes, "Kat didn't fucking text me."
I said, no,
And
she
I'm like,
didn't.
"Whoa, calm down."
So I sent her a screenshot. I even sent you like a motivational text before
Yes.
they're
What the fuck, Andrew?
That was the
Yang.
Andrew Yang photo.
That could have been our president.
Yeah.
Hey. We missed out. That would be content for days.
I mean, we already have it with Biden, so we're good there.
Yeah, but I would have
That's true.
rather had that than Biden.
Yeah.
Or Bernie Sanders in this
At
whole
least he would
thing.
have completed sentences.
Feeling the burn.
All right. With that said, we will be Thursday. We have Ant for sure because
Yeah.
he's on Thursday nights.
It's still here.
And so we will be back Thursday night. Y'all catch Full Send University on Friday nights. And Other than that, y'all have a great evening. Appreciate you guys, Full Send University, for coming in and joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us. It was fun.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good one.